Straight in the next game. Don't know where we're at in the brackets. Let's have a quick look. J Parrot versus Max. Oh, looks like we're in a quarterfinal match, I think. Anyway. ZVT, Cross Spawns Metalopolis. Okay. Let's get into this. Alright, welcome back everyone. To those just joining us, we are covering the Bronze, Silver and Gold tournament here for SC2C.com on the good old C server. We are going to be having a bit of a different commentary by me today. It's not going to be a commentary, like a general commentary, play-by-play. I will most likely miss things on the screen as I'm talking about other stuff. That's the way it's going to go, because I'm just going to be I'm going to be trying giving tips for these two players in particular to look at this game and look at the VOD and realize what they did wrong, how they can improve and get them better at the game. So we'll roll into it. We'll bring this chat back up. Okay, so these positions are definitely what J Parrot wants. He'd want to be sending a scout out a little bit earlier than this. I always scout on 9 when I play Zerg, just so I can figure out, on Metalopolis anyway, by the time your 9th drone gets there, here, or sees, like you've got your Overlord going to this side, right, and you got your drone going to this side. If you don't see him either there, you can throw down your hatch. But if you see him in either of those, you can throw down your pool, and it doesn't really affect your timing too much. As the cross spawns, you definitely have a better chance of defending that fast expand than normal. But it's different for every Zerg player. Like, some people like to do it different ways. Like, Chef just goes on the feel of it, even if it is close position. Sometimes he just goes, oh, I'm just going to 15 hatch anyway. It doesn't make a difference. But we did see a hatch pull first coming out here from Parrot. Kind of upsetting to see, as he could have been able to take a very good lead if he'd fast expanded. But as we do only see one Rax coming out from Max, he's going for the double supply depot wall in at the front. So there's going to be no early pressure whatsoever coming in against Parrot. What he'd want to do is see that and just take an expansion as soon as possible. As soon as they, like, cut all drones, just get that expansion up. Because you want to, A, have the income, B, have the lava, and just have the extra creep down there. To be able to do that. That's what you want. Ideally, you want to stay at least one base ahead than the Terran and Zerg. But hey, let's see. We go. We do have a second Max going down. 4 Max. Now, like I was saying, in these positions, like not these positions, in this matchup, I always prefer to have both of these watchtowers constantly. I mean, constantly mine, because that way you can see an army coming down. If you wanted to, you can see any kind of units coming down. You have time to react, time to position your units to defend it, things like that. And I'd also have another link popping up and down this ramp, because you'd be able to see that second barracks. You wouldn't be able to see the third one, but you'd be able to see the second barracks and things like that. Malik, if you're lagging, try resetting or refreshing the page, or it's quite possible. This stream is going at about 1.5 megabit. If you're in SCA, it's possible you might not be able to handle it. I'm sorry, but I have to appeal to the masses. So we're going straight for Lair while taking his expansion. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people prefer to get their second queen and transfer it down first in the Lair, but the Lair's certainly going to help him out. He's probably getting a little bit endangered. You've probably been endangered by a lot of Banshee play recently. That's why he's probably getting that lair fairly quickly. There's nothing wrong with the lair timing. No, they're at the same amount of drones. Getting a Spire straight away. This I don't agree with. This you want to try and save a little bit. You want to drone up as much as you can. You don't really want to be going muter until you've got 4 geysers, because then you can get a decent amount. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Alright. So like I was saying, we do have a few lings being poked out now. He's seeing what's going on. Like, here for Parrot, you can see he's got so many lings here. But if you run up the ramp, you'd see that Max doesn't have all that many units. So they could be... What's that? How many lings is that? That could be an extra 5 to 6 drones down at this natural. That could be a lot more income. Are you talking about the stream quality, Xenox? Or the refresh rate? Anyway. So we do have queens at both bases. Let's have a look here. We got Tombats here. We got some mutas coming. Nah, it's nowhere close, guys. Technically, it's only 480p. The difference, here's some knowledge for you. The difference in streaming, a lot of people don't get, is, ooh, we do have them coming out. Oh, he's gonna get catch a bang, he's unaware. Ha ha ha. That sucks, but there's 2 different things you got to do with streaming. One is the size of the screen, right? That's what determines your 720, your 820, 1080, 720, 480p, that kind of stuff. And then there's the bitrate. And the bitrate, have you ever seen streams where they move the camera and it goes all blurry and then comes back a couple of seconds later? The bitrate determines how quickly that refreshes itself. So yeah. Right now I think mine's on 480p, but my bitrate is like really high for it, so that's why it looks a little bit weird. Soon to be new PC, and then soon to be full 1080p, but yeah. So we have Max. He hasn't really done any kind of attack as of yet, but the problem with I see with this is he's been so passive, and yet Parrot doesn't really have. Parrot doesn't have as many drones. As many drones as I feel he should have in this situation. We currently have 1 Thor and a lot of Marines. Probably not the best unit mix. There are mutas out, which was the Thor's going to help with, but the problem with this is a lot of banglings coming through. He needs to get a lot of banglings. Bangling speed on the way, he's got some mutas, he's going to start harassing with these mutas, and because the Thor's so slow, he's not going to be able to get across the map that quickly. So Parrot's going to be able to keep him on that base as pretty much as long as he wants, because he's going to have to keep defending these mutas. He does have some turrets up now, but like I was saying in an earlier game, turrets are fine against 5 to 6 mutalisks. Once they get to about 10 to 15 mutas, turrets are 0 deterrent because they just like 1 or 2 shot them. No problem. Creep spray could use a little bit more work. And once again, more drones, more drones, more drones, more drones. You haven't even seen him move out of his base yet. He's still on 1 base. Get 2 fully saturated bases. And then you can just steamroll him if you want. Right, we're looking at 64 supply to 83 right now. And that is just going to keep expanding. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse because Parrot's now on 3 bases to the 1 for Max. Now the problem with this is actually really hard to defend if you don't know how to do it. And it's very frustrating to watch because you see so many players, they find a strategy that works so well. I did it when I played Brood War. I only played Brood War for like 2 weeks when I played Protoss on there. And I'd always do the 2-gate Zealot aggression against Zerg. And I'd win so many games, I'd get so many points, and then I'd get to the point where I was playing players who knew how to defend that, and then I was like, dropped all the way back down again, because I stayed there, but every other time I tried to do something different, it was like I was a new player again. And that's the thing you don't want to get stuck into as a new player. You don't want to get stuck into the 1 base or the 1-trick wonders. I think Max right now is just a little bit timid. He knows that there's a lot of units there for the Zerg. He needs to get out there. We do have banelings being morphed down the bottom of the ramp here. We do have more banelings being rolled in. Unfortunately for Max, this game's over. But that's right. We do have more drones coming out. Off 3 bases, you'd ideally want to have 60 to 70 drones. That's what I think is roughly optimal. And then once you get that amount, you can just max out to 200, throw your army at them, max out to 200, throw your army at them, etc., etc. We do see Max does see all these units down the bottom of the ramp here. Bring his Marines out, stims into the Banelings. Not what you want to do. He's running away barely. Is he going to lift up that supply depot? No, the Banelings are still coming. Stim's going to run out. He's going to go top. Goodbye, Marines. And almost goodbye, tank. Whoa! Yeah, you don't want to fight Marines with mutas, man. Yeah. Something a lot of people don't realize is sometimes they see stuff like that and they go, "Oh my god, why didn't they lift up the supply depot?" But if there's a unit on it, you can't. So that's why. Even if he wanted to lift that up, he couldn't. So now we're back at 99 supply here versus 51. We're now at 55 drones, so now's a good time to start getting upgrades. Take a 4th base. Make sure you don't get oversaturated when you start to mine out in your main or your natural, because you do not want that to happen. And we'll see how that goes. Hey, there you go. There's taking the 4th base. Nicely done, taking the gold. We do have a 2nd base out for Max, but unfortunately, he's still only on 22 SCVs, so the game's pretty much over for him right now. He just doesn't know it yet. So yeah, this is probably the most annoying part about casting BSGs is you can see one player is so far behind, there's no way they can do it, but they don't realise. And oh, don't lag out. The sucky part is Skybreaker's going to come to me and go, "Who was winning?" And I'm going to say Parrot was pretty much definitely won. But it depends on the rules. I actually have to double check the rules. What happens on DCs? I'm pretty sure it's a ref's decision. Let's find out. Oh, wow. Nah, Skybreaker, I'm making you change those rules if you're listening to me. That is not the kind of rule you want. Yeah, that's not cool, but I'll make sure you change it for next time. Yeah, God. Where is he? Alright, so it's getting a thingo. I don't know, like, there's so many different ways to deal with that kind of stuff in tournaments, but I think the most fair way is just have a ref review the replay. If there's a significant advantage to one or the other, like in that game, then you'd go for it. But yeah. That's what replays are for, man. Obviously, in like crappy little tournaments with no prize money or something like that, it doesn't matter as much. But when you're in invitations and stuff, it does. All right, so it looks like Max